Yeah, good morning, students. As of now, due to some problem, it was muted. Yeah, in last classes we have discussed, we have started the IEEE standards. In that IEEE standards, we have discussed about 802.11 architecture. In this, we have discussed about some these components. We have discussed what is station and what is an access point, basic service set, extended service set. These all topics already we have discussed. This particular diagram resembles the IEEE 802.11 architecture. In this, we are having access point and portal. The access point is to connect the different BSS, and the portal is connect the ESS with the 802.x LAN, that is normal LAN. See here where the mouse is pointed, this is the IEEE 802.x, means this is the standard LAN, and this is the portal which is used to connect the wireless LAN with wired LAN, and this is the access point which connects this is one BSS and this is another BSS. The access point is in between the distribution system and BSS. By using access point, we can connect with the distribution system. Okay, through this distribution system, by using portal, we can connect with the wired LAN. This is the architecture of IEEE 802.11. Here, these are some components of IEEE 802.11. Yeah, this is one more architecture of IEEE 802.11. Previous one is IEEE 802.11 normal architecture. This is ad hoc wireless LAN. The difference between normal wireless LAN and ad hoc wireless LAN, here we don't have any portals, here we don't have any access points. See here, this is one BSS. See here, this is one BSS. In this BSS, we are having own LAN. IEEE 802.11 LAN. In this, two stations are connected here. Station 1, station 2, like that. Here also, this is one BSS. This BSS is called IBSS, not normal BSS, IBSS. This is known as ad hoc wireless LAN architecture. Coming to the IEEE 802.11 protocol architecture. See, this is very simple diagram. The left, listen students, this is the mobile terminal. Let's take an example, laptop or mobile device. The right side one is the fixed terminal. Let's take an example of desktop. See here how these two are connected. This is the right side one is the wired one and left side one is the wireless one. Okay. Now see here, coming to the layers. This is the wireless one, right? For live, what is the IEEE format for a wireless network? IEEE 802.11. So this is IEEE 802.11 physical layer. Above physical layer, what we are having? Data link layer. Data link layer is divided into two categories. The first one, below one is IEEE 802.11 max sublayer. Above that, this is also part of the data link layer, logical link control. This is IP. Why here IP? IP means it is the protocol of network layer. It is the protocol of network layer. This diagram is the protocol architecture of IEEE 802.11. So in this IP is the protocol of network layer, and this TCP is the protocol of transport layer, and lastly we are having the application layer. Okay, this is about mobile terminal. Now coming to this one, the fixed terminal. Let us assume it is a desktop. See here, 802.3 physical layer. Why we said this is 802.3? This is a fixed station. Fixed station uses 802.3 cable, that is Ethernet cable. That is the reason why it is 802.3 physical layer, 802.3 MAC sublayer, and this is the LLC, logical link control of data link layer, and IP is the network layer protocol, TCP is the transport layer protocol, and this is the application layer. Now see here, this is source system, and this is these two are systems. This is the intermediate system. Let us take these are the intermediate system. See here how mobile terminal is connected. How the is there any physical requirement or a wire is required to connect with? No, we don't have, and only just it needs an access point. See here, this represents wireless connectivity to this access point or through this system. Here we are having intermediate systems. Okay, our aim is fixed terminal needs to be connected with mobile terminal, or mobile terminal needs to be connected with fixed terminal. In these two terminals, we are having so many intermediate systems. So for the intermediate system, this is a wireless one, right? For wireless one, we are having wireless connectivity. 802.11 physical layer, 802.11 MAC layer. Okay. Now this is a wired one. So 802.3 physical layer and 802.3 MAC layer. See here, we need an infrastructure network for fixed terminal. Why? Because we need infrastructure. Okay, we need an access point. Okay, here we need a wire. Here we don't need a wire. This is the radio transmission, nothing but wireless transmission. Here, what are the protocols here? Here 802.11 protocol, MAC protocol here, LLC control, and IP, Internet Protocol, and TCP protocol. Okay, this is the IEEE 802.11 protocol architecture. Okay, this diagram represents how a wireless device and how a wired device is connected. The left side one is the mobile terminal and right side one is the desktop system. In between those, we are having intermediate systems. Next, see here, coming to the protocol architecture. As I told you, the physical layer is divided into two sublayers. One is PLCP sublayer, that is the above sublayer of physical layer, called as physical layer convergence protocol, and the below sublayer is the physical layer medium dependent sublayer, that is PMD sublayer. Remember students, PMD means physical medium dependent sublayer. Now coming to the next layer of data link layer, that is MAC medium access control layer. Okay, this is to access the medium. Why? Because this is next immediate to the physical layer to access the medium, to fragment the user data, Data link layer, one of the responsibility of data link layer is to fragment the user data. How it will be fragmented? It will be fragmented in the form of frames, and more further, it is also used to encrypt the data. Okay, this is about MAC. Now coming to the physical layer sublayers, that is first one is PLCP, that is physical layer convergence protocol. What it will do is it will carrier sense signal. It will do the carrier sense the signal and common service access point, where this layer is immediate to the MAC layer. Okay, suppose this is immediate to the MAC layer. Now coming to the PMD sublayer, it will do encoding and decoding the signals. Why? Because it is the below sublayer of physical layer. The next immediate to PMD is the transmission medium. So that is the reason why it is responsible for encoding and decoding the signals. This is the clear picture of protocol management. Here see, This is the physical layer. Physical layer below sublayer is PMD sublayer. I told you PMD means physical medium dependent sublayer. That is the below sublayer of physical layer. The above sublayer is physical layer convergence protocol. These two are comes under the physical management. And coming to this is the physical next DLC. DLC means data link control. Okay, this is about data link layer. Below sublayer is MAC sublayer and above sublayer is LLC sublayer. Here it is the MAC protocol is called as MAC management. Here PMD is called as physical management. The total altogether, the physical management and MAC management altogether is called as station management. Here why it is called as station management means here to interact with one station needs to be interacted with another station. So here we are mainly discussing about the wireless communication. Okay, for this wireless communication, the altogether MAC management and physical management both are combined together called as station management. This is detailed information about IEEE 802.11 protocol architecture and management. Just you need, whenever they ask for IEEE 802.11 protocol architecture, it is wireless one. In this, you need to write this diagram. You need to draw this diagram. Just you simply remember how a mobile terminal and a fixed station will be connected. Some wireless needs nothing and the wired needs some infrastructure, that is it needs an access point like a router like that. And for simple point you need to remember, for wireless one it is 802.11. this is the difference you need to identify here. For wired one you need to identify it is 802.3. it is Ethernet. I told you while beginning of this unit 802.3 is nothing but it is the IEEE name for Ethernet cable. It is the physical one. So these two be needed. These two connected wired. These two connected wireless. That is the representation. This one is wireless symbol and this is the wired one. Okay. Now coming to the next topic. Okay. IEEE. Note down students. IEEE 802.11 physical layer. Okay, what I'm saying is not a physical layer. IEEE 802.11 physical layer. Okay, that means in wireless communication, we are discussing about physical layer. What is the responsibility of physical layer in IEEE 802.11? Nothing but wireless LAN, and it is also called as Wi-Fi. Now here we are having three layers. The first layer is infrared layer, and we are having two radio transmission layers. One is infrared layer and we are having two radio transmission layers. Here, one more thing, the clear channel assessment signal. The responsibility of clear channel assessment signal is the MAC mechanism controlling the medium axis. Here, for every communication, as I told you, this is the multiple axis. Okay, this is the multiple axis. In this multiple axis, multiple persons are accessing the channel. Who will play an important role? Who, suppose, let's take an example. If one station senses the medium, it finds it was ideal. Okay. For which station it needs to be permitted to transmit the data. The decider is the MAC. The MAC will give the permission to transmit the data, and it indicates the state of the medium. See the second point, indicates the state of medium. State of medium is two types. One is ideal state and second one is very busy state. Okay. Next one is service access point. Coming to the versions of physical layer, we are having three versions of IEEE 802. You don't think it was two sublayers. I am saying about the versions of physical layer in IEEE 802.11. Here we are having three versions. The first one is FHSS. That means frequency hopping spread spectrum. And second one is DSSS, DSSS, that is direct sequence spread spectrum. And the last one is infrared. Okay. Coming to the FHSS, that means frequency hopping spread spectrum. It allows, coming to the responsibilities of FHSS, it allows coexistence of multiple networks. Coexistence of multiple networks. Okay, so that means it can use multiple networks. And coming to the standard is 79 hopping channel North America, 23 hopping channel Japan. Okay, this is the standards, original standards. And it uses the pseudo random hopping pattern. Hopping means connections. It uses the pseudo random hopping pattern. And here 1 Mbps is mandatory and 2 Mbps is optional. Here, let's see. I told you FHSS, right? By using FHSS, as it is physical layer, we need to know which type of transmission it is responsible for. Let's see. Here, this FHSS, I told you some points. It is the multi-existence of, coexistence of multiple networks and some hopping standards. These are the common points, but we need to know why FHSS. Coming to that, it is a method of transmitting radio signals, rapidly changing the carrier frequency among many distinct frequencies occupying a spectral band. See here, the point is FHSS is a method of transmitting radio signals. As it is wireless communication, it is responsible for transmitting radio signals, rapidly changing the carrier frequency among many distinct frequencies occupying a large spectral band. Okay. Here, the change in the frequency. Suppose we have allocated a station. Let's see. The change in the frequencies is nothing but we have allocated a frequency to the channel. Here, the responsibility of FHSS is dynamically changes. The change will be done by either the transmitter or the receiver. Okay, this is about the FHSS. Coming to this is very important one. This is the IEEE 802.11 physical frames using FHSS. Okay, that means how this is the frame, physical frame of IEEE 802.11. See here in this, we are having a frame structure. Here we are having in that the above numbers representing the bits and the fields representing. See here we are having two header fields. We know that the rightmost one is the payload, that is the data field. As we know, header field and data fields so far, Then what is the preamble? PLCP preamble is the one part and PLCP header is the another part. Coming to the PLCP preamble. In the PLCP preamble, we are having two fields. One is the synchronization field of 80 bits and SFD. SFD means that SFD. Remember, the point SFD is nothing but the start frame delimiter. Nothing but after ending of that SFD, the original frame will be started. Original frame will be started. Start frame delimiter. See here, after 16 bits of SFD field, the original frame will be started. Original frame will be started. The PLCP, what is the PLCP? Physical layer convergence protocol. Physical layer convergence protocol. And just try to understand, students. Why? Because we don't need to teach in Telugu. See, coming to the, you need to get one doubt, sir. You are telling about the physical layer. Then what is the frame? What is PLCP? PLCP is the above sublayer of physical layer, right? So for that PLCP sublayer, from data link layer, above one is the data link layer, right? From data link layer, it will get a frame. Okay. I'm telling about that one. Okay. After receiving the frame, the physical layer will convert that frame into bits. That is another part. Here, the PLCP preamble is the introduction, nothing but an introduction and the description. It is having the field of synchronization. Okay, synchronization. This synchronization is the very important one. Okay, why? Because the sent data and received data needs to be synchronized. The speeds needs to be synchronized. The transmission rate needs to be synchronized. All that information will be resided in synchronization. Okay. And coming to the this synchronization, this is the 80-bit length and it is composed of alternating 0 and 1 sequences. This synchronization is alternates of zeros and ones. Okay. Why? Because it deals with the synchronization. Okay. This particular field will provide the synchronization between the sender and receiver. Here, this synchronization field is having three main purposes. First of all, the synchronization signal, it is containing the synchronization signal. It indicates that the frame is imminent frame. The frame is imminent frame. The first one is. The second one is stations that have multiple antennas and multi-path fading, and if it is having any problems, it will deal with. And the third one is the receiver can measure the frequency of incoming signal. Okay. You no need to write all these things. Just it is used for synchronization between sender and receiver. Okay. Next one is start frame delimiter. In Ethernet, the SFD signals end of the preamble. That means SFD means after the end of SFD, the original frame will be started. Original frame will be started. Now coming to the original frame, that is the next part. That is PLCP header. In PLCP header, we are having three fields. One is PLW. The second one is PSF. Third one is HEC. Here, PLW means P means PSDU, L means length word, P means PSDU. PSF means PLW means PSDU. What is PSDU? Just tell me the components one by one from above. TPDU, SPDU, PPDU. What is the meaning of that one? It represents physical layer data unit. Physical layer, PSDU means physical layer data unit. That is physical layer data unit length word. And coming to the PSF, that is physical layer. Just try to tell me. I told you in today's class only. PSF, that is the signaling field. I told you. Anyone? It is the signaling unit. Just I told you, just remind about that one. Next one is the HEC. HEC means header error check. As I told you, the error check means for CRC. That means for error detection, for error correction, all information will be resided in the header field. Okay. Here the PLCP header is having three fields: PLW, PSF field, and the next one is HEC. Okay, header error check. Header error check is nothing but it deals with the error control information, detection and correction. And lastly, we are having the payload information, which is nothing but the data field. Payload is nothing but the data field. This is the size is variable. Okay. Mainly, this is very important question. Explain IEEE 802.11 physical layer. In that, you need to write how many layers we are having in this. We are having two radio transmission layers, one infrared, and how many versions we are having in physical layer. We are discussing about FHSS, and this is the FHSS IEEE 802.11 physical frame. Okay. Next, in tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss about DSS. This is direct sequence spread spectrum. Coming to the this we will discuss tomorrow. This is another format of DSS. This we will discuss tomorrow's class.